I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Friday, December the 27th, 2013. Israeli Air Force jets responded to another round of rocket fire on southern Israel. Late last night, 2 rockets were fired at Israel's coastal region from Gaza, the second round of fire within a 24-hour period. As we reported to you yesterday, a Qassam rocket was fired into the same area late Wednesday night. In both incidents, no damage or injury was reported. The IAF struck 2 targets in Gaza in response to last night's rocket fire, striking a weapons manufacturing site in the Gaza Strip's central region and a weapons storage site in its north. Palestinian news agency Wafa reported that 2 Palestinians were injured during the airstrikes. Senior Palestinian negotiator Saeb Erekat said that Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas will ask the United States to intervene in Israel's reported plans to announce more settlement construction. Erekat said today that Abbas asked for U.S. intervention to stop the Israeli government from issuing new settlement decisions in order to save the peace process and the American efforts. Abbas reportedly met with U.S. Mideast peace envoy Martin Indyk in Ramallah yesterday. Al-Quds newspaper quoted Erekat as also saying today that the Palestinian Authority would turn to the International Criminal Court, the ICC, among other organizations, if Israel indeed announces more settlement construction, saying Palestinian leadership would immediately present their application for membership in 63 international organizations, among them the ICC. As we reported to you yesterday, Israel's Channel 2 said that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was set to announce new settlement plans around the same time as Israel is set to release another round of Palestinian security prisoners early next week. And with that impending Palestinian prisoner release, Israeli families of terror victims gathered in protest last night in front of the Ministry of Defense in Tel Aviv. Speakers at the protest said that the ministers who approved this release should be, quote, ashamed of themselves for releasing prisoners with blood on their hands. The Israeli ministerial committee that decides on choosing the list of prisoners to be released is set to meet tomorrow night and make their decisions. The prisoner release, which is the 3rd out of a total of 4, is set to take place Monday night. Israel had agreed to release a total of 104 Palestinian prisoners convicted of killing Israelis at least 20 years ago as a gesture to resume peace talks with the Palestinians. And the Palestinian Authority denied a report that PA President Abbas and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu have been conducting secret or back-channel talks. This is in response to a report yesterday in Yediot Aharonot that we reported to you about that said the leaders have been maintaining a secret channel of talks for several years, with Netanyahu's confidant Yitzhak Molcho traveling to London from time to time to meet with one of Abbas's associates. However, today, Abbas spokesman Nabil Abu Radene said no such back-channel diplomacy had taken place.
I'm addressing this video to President Obama.
Al-Qaeda in Pakistan released a video believed to show kidnapped Jewish U.S. aid contractor Warren Weinstein. In the video, Weinstein, who is now 72, appeals to U.S. President Obama to intervene on his behalf. State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki released a statement saying, "We're working hard to authenticate this latest report, but we reiterate our call that Warren Weinstein be released and returned to his family, particularly during this holiday season, another one away from his family. Our hopes," she said, "and prayers are with him and those who love and miss him." Weinstein, who is from Rockville, Maryland, was kidnapped in August of 2011 outside Pakistan while he was working for a private company that advises Pakistani businesses and is believed to have been held by Al-Qaeda for the last 2 years. If indeed the video proves to be of Weinstein, it would be the first proof of life from him in more than a year. In September of last year, Weinstein is seen in a video appealing to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to help free him. He said in that video, "As a Jew, I am appealing to you, Prime Minister Netanyahu, the head of the Jewish state of Israel, as one Jew to another, to please intervene on my behalf." The U.S. has said it will not negotiate with Al-Qaeda because it is a terrorist organization. German newspaper Der Spiegel reported this week that the German art collector, who had been in possession of nearly 1,500 masterpieces previously owned by Jews, had close ties to the Nazi Party and was even known as the dealer to the Führer. Der Spiegel said Hildebrand Gerlit, who died in a car accident back in 1956, had connections in high-level Nazi circles and was involved in the systematic looting of Jewish property during World War II. As we reported to you last month, a raid by German authorities at the Munich apartment of Gerlit's son, art collector Cornelius Gerlit, uncovered the massive art collection, which is now valued at nearly $1 billion and includes works by Picasso, Matisse, and Renoir. Meanwhile, the Jewish Week reports that the Jewish community is appointing 3 art experts to a 10-member task force being established to learn the rightful owners of the paintings in the collection. Israel has been asked to send 1 expert, and the Conference on Jewish Material Claims Against Germany is appointing 2 others. The task force marks the first time the Jewish community has become involved in the matter. Bobby Brown, who is director of Project Heart, which on behalf of the Israeli government deals with restitution of Jewish property looted during the Holocaust, said his office, together with the Jewish Agency for Israel, would be selecting a representative shortly. He said they requested a presence on the task force, and German authorities, quote, understood that it is legitimate to have an Israeli expert there. Brown told the Jewish Week 2 things are extremely important: that Holocaust looted art is identified, and that we do everything we can to make sure there is a simple process for determining ownership. Adding, the law has to be clarified, but if art has been looted, there will be a large degree of sympathy for not returning it to Gerlit. The New York Times has launched a survey of Hungarian Jews about rising anti-Semitism in Hungary. The survey, published online on Tuesday, asks Jews living in Hungary or from Hungary a series of questions, including whether they experienced anti-Semitism there. The Times said in its introduction to the survey, referring apparently to the Jobbik Party, that an openly anti-Semitic political party has gained power in Hungary's parliament in recent years, fueling fears that the Eastern European nation is experiencing a rise in anti-Jewish sentiment. They cited that 90% of Hungarian Jews who participated in a recent survey by a European Union agency ranked the bias in the country as a very big or fairly big problem. The New York Times said they'll be taking a deep look at anti-Semitism in Hungary this coming year and are hoping to hear from Hungarian Jews on their experiences. And turning to our Shalom TV programming for tonight, Friday, December the 27th, live Shabbat services coming up at 6 from New York City Central Synagogue. And then at 7:30, a klezmer and jazz concert with clarinetist David Crocker, followed by Yehuda Avner's The Prime Ministers at 8. And looking ahead at the weekend, don't miss part 2 of Shalom TV's Jewish Year in Review, as the Shalom TV Roundtable discusses some of the most significant events of the past year, including the U.S. administration's agreement to ease sanctions on Iran, the rising political stars who have emerged from this year's Israeli elections, the steps taken in Israel to foster Jewish pluralism, and each of the panelists identifies their Jewish person of the year. That's coming up Sunday at noon with a replay at 6 p.m. And then at 7:30 Sunday night, therapist, author, and lecturer Esther Perel discusses the Jewish family to an audience at UConn Stanford for the 2nd annual Saul Cohen Jewish Family Service lecture. That's all coming up here on Shalom TV and ShalomTV.com. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Friday, December the 27th, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.